Okay, so the rice is done boiling. It's been 20 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the kombu and we're going to remove it out of the sour mix here. And we're going to take that and we're just going to pour that right in over the rice. And we're going to stir the rice in really well. See, that came out great. That looks really good. It's not burnt on the bottom. It's nice and white. That actually came out perfect. That's how you want it to come out, exactly. And this is usually what my rice looks like. That's why it's important to follow these steps. It's important to get the rice just right, because the rice is the most important part of the sushi. And that came out perfect. That looks great. Now what you got to do is let it sit until it's cool. You can't wrap up hot rice on the sushi, so you got to wait, let it sit, let it cool off. You can stick it on a pot holder and stick it in the freezer if you want, but I don't recommend that because it just doesn't wrap right and stuff. The best way, let it sit for an hour and it should be ready to wrap. Okay, so the rice is cooled. It's ready to be wrapped in the nori. One thing you are definitely going to need, and if you did the rice right, it'll be really sticky. You're going to need water to dip your hands in. It helps work with the rice a lot easier. So what you're going to do is you got your bamboo mat here. You're going to take a nori, piece of dry seaweed. It's like seaweed paper, kind of. It's like a piece of paper. And you're going to lay that down on the mat right about there. You're going to leave a little gap at the end. Then you're going to take your hand, you're going to stick it in the water, rub your other hand, make sure your hands are clean. I'm big on sanitation. And you're going to take the rice, and you're going to pat some down there. I usually take my index finger and push it against the side here so it comes to the end. And we'll wet our hand, take some more rice. You don't want to get the rice wet though, because then it'll get all goopy and nasty. So what you want to do is pack the rice down like so. And make it nice and even so you don't have big wads in areas. So you pat this down nice and even. And some will squeeze to the end. So what you want to do is kind of push it out a little bit. It's okay if it comes over the edge a little bit. But that's what you want it to look like. Now you're going to take the fillings for the inside. And you'll take some carrot. And you'll lay your carrot across like this. Put your carrot down. Then you'll take some cucumber. And you'll add your cucumber to it. Like so. And you kind of want to just make this little formation where you're overlapping them, but you want to cover the whole area, this whole general area here. And we'll throw another little carrot there. Now we'll take the broccoli spears from the stem that I took, and we'll put those along the edge here. Okay. And last, we'll take the cream cheese, and I'll usually just put that right in the middle there. So we'll take 2 little slabs of cream cheese, and we'll put it right there in the middle. You don't have to add that, but I like to. Another thing I like to add, which I'm going to, is a little bit of sesame seeds. I'll add a little bit of sesame seed to it. That's always nice to have. So now you're going to wet your hand and get ready to roll. So what I like to do is I like to moisten the end here at this end. I just take a little water. You don't want it soaking wet. You just want to moisten it. And I'll pat this down a little bit and push it that way. Okay. And now we are ready to roll. You're going to take your mat. Let's pull this back a little bit because you need a little bit to play with there. You're going to take your mat and you're going to put your hand in the middle of the sushi like so. And what I do is I just roll it right over. And this one's going to be kind of big, but what you want to do is you want to pinch it across like this, nice and even. And that's rolling up a little bit on me. But then what you want to do is you want to roll it again, pull the end of the mat out, roll it again, and pinch it again. You're gonna roll it again and do the same thing. You want to pull this piece out to roll it, and then you just pinch it, and you just keep going and keep moving right along. You want to make sure you get it nice and even, pinch it nice and even, right until it's like that. Okay, so you can pack that stuff back in, but what I like to do is the seam there, I'll take a little bit of water, I'll wet the seam, and then I'll push it against the cutting board. So what you can do with this is you can just pack that back in. Sometimes I'll take it like this and just kind of give it a little tap against the cutting board, and you are ready to cut. And I'm going to teach you a little trick that I found out the hard way. What you want to do is you want to wet your blade before you cut this, because if you don't, what'll happen is if you made your rice right and it's really sticky, what'll happen is the blade will stick. So you want a wet blade when you cut this. So just cut in a kind of I just cut it in a sawing motion, and that works fine. You know, you got to have a really sharp knife, and you want to cut in a sawing motion, because if you push down, you're going to squish everything, and it's going to flatten the sushi. You don't want to do that. You want to cut in nice, sawing, even motions, but you got to use a really sharp knife. So, like that. And you get to the end, you can pack it down a little bit. You can even use a knife like that, pack it down, and cut. There we go. You don't want to pound your sushi, but you know, just pack it in. So we'll take that and we'll place that there on the platter. And we ended up with 7 pieces. Hey, that's always nice when you end up with a little extra. So that's what it looks like. Really colorful, really pretty, nice looking. Now what you do is you take a little bit of wasabi and you stick that in the corner there. And you're gonna take your ginger and you're gonna stick that. You get some pickled ginger, you get that. Supermarkets have been starting to sell it. I've been finding this stuff at regular supermarkets lately, which is great. Okay, and you got your wasabi, you got your ginger. All right, we'll take some soy sauce. Gotta have your soy sauce. You can get, you know, low sodium soy sauce too if you can't have salt. I don't like a lot of salt, so you know, I get the low sodium. Okay, so I'm going to take some rice seasoning that you can buy, made for sushi and rice and other things. I'll pour a little bit of that on because I really enjoy that. I'm going to pour my wife and I some tea to go with it, and we will enjoy this. Okay, so that's how I make sushi. That's how I learned how to make sushi. I hope you enjoy it. If you get the rice right, that's the key thing with sushi, getting the rice right. If you get the rice right, you'll have no problem. You can add whatever you want to it. I slice up tuna and I put it in. I do different things here and there. But you can do whatever you want. Get creative with it and enjoy it. I'm going to attach a link to this video that you can go and get some supplies. They're a company I've done business with, and I've really enjoyed their products. They've always treated me well as a company, and I recommend them. So the link to them will be attached to this video, and the ingredients I've used will be at the end. So I hope you enjoyed the sushi recipe. Have fun with it. Enjoy making sushi, and I will talk to you later. Sayonara.